Hey, good morning to you. Welcome back to the Morning Minute Meditation. So glad that you've dropped by today. In Ecclesiastes chapter 7, the writer Solomon says that the Lord has made man upright. The reason he's made us upright is because he's made us in his image. But then he goes on to say, but man has sought out many inventions. The indication there is that God made man how he wanted to make man. And now man has pursued by the way of ingenuity and mental capacity to seek out all the things that we enjoy or that are haunting us to this very day. It is the ingenuity of man being created in the image of God, who he being himself the ultimate creator. Now man has created all kinds of inventions. Inventions are great things, but they can be things that bring us great grief as well. June the 4th, 1783, near Paris, the first in what would be the steps toward human flight took place. A group of people gathered there on a platform, and they created a bonfire with hay and old rags and the such to create a lot of gases going up into a balloon. It was 33 feet in diameter. It was tied and moored off to the platform. And when the smoke and the gases had filled that balloon, the moorings were cut and the balloon ascended to 6,000 feet and then came to rest in a field several miles away. It was immediately attacked by the farmers who were there with pitchforks, jobbing and poking and destroying the invention because they believed that it was evil coming down from the sky. They couldn't have been any further from the truth, but at the same time, this was brand new to them. When I look back over human history, particularly in the 20th century, this century, above all others previous, has been the century of the greatest inventions. The automobile really come to light. Light came to light, pun intended there. And then we have, of course, the telegraph and then the telephone, and now we are communicating wirelessly. Man went to the moon and walked on the moon, and we can go on with the inventions that were created. And I have heard for years preachers stand behind the pulpit and decry the newest inventions of the day, from the television when I was a child up to the internet and now social media. And may I say that their cries are warranted. These inventions have created great havoc and led to a lot of sin. As a matter of fact, when you consider the subject of social media, it has been a mitigating factor in the majority of divorces within the last 10 years, in some fashion or the other. And yet it is through this medium that you're hearing the information that you're hearing today. So what do we have to say about all of this? Well, I would much rather it be the way it was in the 1800s, and we go to the outhouse to use the restroom, and we stoke the fire up in the night and cover up with heavy quilts, and that's just me. I wish we were living in those kinds of days. But because I wish we were living in those kinds of days does not mean that I'm not going to avail myself of electricity and heat and air and automobiles and the like. I'm going to enjoy the inventions of today. But yet at the same time, we must admit that these inventions have come with their own problems. So what do? Like we do with everything else. We use them as tools, not toys. And we allow these inventions to aid us in the spread of the gospel for the kingdom of our Lord's Christ. And when we get beyond that to where our inventions become the time waster toy that they have become in many lives, it is then that we need to revisit whether we need to get rid of them or amend our behavior. Hey, think on these things today, my friend. Have yourself a grand cup of coffee and a grander day.